Hey, thanks for slithering in. I'm Symtherin. Welcome back to my channel and another speed build in The Sims 4. Today we are traveling back in time, way back when, into the 1950s. I was invited by Pandora Sims to build alongside a ton of other amazing, talented simmers to pretty much make builds that look like they're from the 1950s, and it was super fun. I had a blast. I tried a style that I'm not too comfortable with to try and get out of my comfort zone a little bit and push those things and get a little better, hopefully. But make sure you guys go and follow the hashtag. It'll be in the title of this video, in the description down below, as well as the names of all of the incredible simmers who partook in this collab. The process for this build took a while. It wasn't until I landed on a real life house from the neighborhood I grew up in that was actually built in the 1950s that I finally was like, okay, I think this is where it's gonna go. And the big part of that reference picture was the fake green carpeted step into that house. Now, when I saw it in the reference picture, and you can see it here as well, I have a platform right after the foundation, that sparked something in me, nostalgically. I've seen that a million times growing up, houses that have this weird fake green carpeted step up into the house, and I'm just like, whoa, mind blown. So that's really what kind of helped steer me in this direction. It's very more mid-century modern-esque. The exterior isn't as colorful as the interior, but when we get to the interior, guys, you're gonna see I just drew up color everywhere. And it was actually really fun because I ended up looking at other inspiration pictures on Pinterest, of course, about 1950s interior design trends and things like that. And it's really fun to explore. So if you guys have never tried to build based off a different decade, you definitely should. It's a lot of fun. It's hard. It's very hard because I feel like a lot of us, or at least myself, I tend to build things that I'm familiar with. It's kind of like writing, right? They always say, write what you know. So translate that into builder's language. Build what you know. You build things that you've been around a lot in your life, that you've seen in real life, based off family homes, friends' homes, your own home, all of that good stuff. But doing something like this definitely is fun to do as well every so often. This build also feels kind of massive, except it's really only is it a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom? It's a 2-bedroom. Yep. 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, full living room, kitchen, all that good stuff. It's really fun. You'll see that all pretty soon. But we are working on trying to figure out the back of the house now. Back of the house is hard, guys. It really is, isn't it? Because there's always that meme that always goes around. It's front of the build versus back of the build. And usually the front is curb appeal to the max, right? It's super good. It's super planned out. It's super pretty. And then you get to the back and it's kind of bleh. It's just, it's did you just completely give up? But usually it's because, the gallery doesn't really show the back of the build, so who cares, right? But also if you're posting online, you don't have to show the back of the build. You can show what you want, right? But I like to try to challenge myself to make the back look somewhat decent and at least functional. Here we're bringing back that green stoop. I don't even know what I want to call it, but I actually really like how the backyard turned out. I think there's a pool back here, and I feel like I've been adding pools to a lot of my builds recently. many you haven't seen yet. I have a few voiceovers to do, and I'm kind of nervous because a couple of those builds I built a long time ago. Like, or at least it feels like a long time ago. Which kind of brings me to, you guys probably have noticed, I mean, the last few months for me on this channel has kind of been hard. You know, videos weren't coming as frequently as they used to, and then sometimes not even at all. I think I really, honestly, it's been about 2 weeks since my last video at this point, and I've been pretty open and honest about it here as well as on like Twitter mostly. I feel like I haven't been that good on Instagram recently, but since this is my first video technically back, I will share right now just really quick, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, that the last few months have, like, probably about 9 months to a year or so. Obviously, I've been pretty open about my dog and his health struggles, and I'm not going to get into the details because it's still pretty fresh, and we're not going to edit the crying out, okay? So basically, it came to the point where it was time to let him go and send him over to Rainbow. We're okay. Thank you guys for all the love and support you have given me in the last few months, but it's hard. It's a change, but it is what it is, you know? We had to do what was best for our boy, our little man. Anyway, here we are working on the landscaping, and first I was trying to do like things with terrain tool, but then it wasn't really working out for me. I was like, no, I don't like this at all. So in the reference picture, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there. The reference picture I spoke about earlier, which I of course did not save because I always tell myself I'm gonna save them, but I don't. But it had these like little, I guess these platform flower planter stone decal thing words, am I right? So I pulled these base game debug items out and kind of sunk them into the ground and kind of layered them and used some flowers and bushes and all that good stuff to make a little pretty arrangement. So very clean and tidy landscaping for this build. Usually I prefer more like lush, like overgrown type landscaping, but this build's a different style than what I'm used to, so we had to change that. I did still have fun with the landscaping though. It's contained, and I guess what is there is a little lush and maybe unkempt, or could become unkempt. I'm playing with fences here, but I think I opt out of the fences if I'm recalling. Oh, I can't even remember. Like I'm telling you, I finished this build, or at least most of this build, a couple weeks ago, and then the life stuff happened, and then I had to like finish it, and that was hard because I had a deadline and I had committed, and I like to commit to my deadlines, so that it is what it is. Anyway, we are finishing up this landscaping on this side here, just kind of repeating what we're doing. I've seen many other sim tubers and simstagrammers and things of that nature basically put out like tips and tricks for landscaping, how to get better at landscaping, and the big one that I definitely agree with is to pick like 4 or 5 different plants and bushes and things and just repeat them, layer them, make sure your move objects cheat is on so that you can merge them in together. Otherwise they're all like latching onto a grid space, and then it's like, does that look really realistic? Because usually flowers and plants and bushes kind of tend to blend in and like mingle a little bit. I don't know if that's the best word for it, but that's the word I'm gonna use. Anyway, we are coming back to the backyard here. I definitely loved putting down this like terracotta tiling back here and kind of mixing and matching it with not only like that green stoop, right, the fake grass stoop, I don't even know what to call it, and then the wooden boards on the porch, and then the terracotta. Like, I felt like those textures and colors were just so 50s. And now that I'm watching this back, for the pool area, I put a whole nother different type of tile down, and I've never used that tile. I'll point it out when we get to it, but I think it's a base game tile, and it's kind of ugly, but it felt very 50s to me, which is kind of funny. But we are coming, or trying to figure out this layout for a like conversation pit kind of thing, like outdoors, just nice little fire pit where you can sit around with your friends and chat and hang out. Very leaning into a lot of like the dream home decorator in this in this build. I was gonna say in this pack. I do that all the time. I'm a little out of practice. I'm so sorry. But Dream Home Decorator came in clutch for this one. A lot of base game, a lot of blooming rooms, honestly. Trying to think what else. I did not limit my pack usage, so I should mention that. And yeah, fun stuff. But here on the porch area, I just put like a little dining space. There is a fireplace here, and it kind of is close to the fence. Like, it doesn't give much room for kind of sitting around the fireplace, but I do end up putting a little bench or love seat there. Well, it'll come. I think it's already there now, because we're gonna move on to the pool area. I'm just waiting for myself to put down this crazy tile so that I can talk about it, because it's crazy. I've never used it before. But yeah, as of me recording this video, we've actually gotten the 2 new kits already. I kind of missed all the hype with like the announcements and things, but stay tuned for some videos. But we've got a river retreat. I can't remember. It's a fancy word. It's a fancy name. It's not even that fancy, but I just can't think of how to say it right now in my mind. But we've got that. Here I'm trying to do something fancy with the pool by Give Up. But there's also a cozy bistro kit, and I cannot wait to get my hands. Like, I have them, I just haven't been able to explore it. But anyway, here is that ugly green tile, and I missed it. I think it's base game. I could be wrong. It could be some other pack that I can't think of in the moment. But isn't it very 50s? It's like that very avocado green and like that pale yellow kind of combined. Just feels, I don't know, it feels old. It feels 50s to me. That is my opinion. And back in this corner is just some more landscaping. I think we're able to squeeze in a grill, and I think that's pretty much it for the backyard. So very good, a lot of good space, honestly, for having people over, especially in the summer. I know I am enjoying the weather recently, although it hasn't been too hot yet. Knock on wood. I knock on wood, but I've seen the forecast for the next week, and it's gonna get hot. It's gonna hit 90s. Ugh, I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. You know, it's summer. You gotta take it when you can, because in a few months I'll be sitting here complaining about how cold I am because it's like -50 outside, and I'll take the 90-degree weather for now, and that's Fahrenheit for anyone who's curious what I'm talking about. If we need to like translate or convert, that's probably it. Here we're getting all of our lighting in, and now we are on into the interior. I think the living room might be my favorite space in the whole house. It really sparked the whole build, really, honestly, like the color scheme. Decor to the max is the other kit that really came in clutch, and I liked using these base game curtains combined with, I think those are curtains from my wedding stories, and even though they're like different shades of yellow, it just worked somehow. I don't know, I really liked it. And pulling out these, yellow couches, and I think at first I was going very green heavy, but then the yellows were just calling to me, so we went yellow. I tried to do the green because of that green step, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna keep bringing up that green step, but I cannot get it out of my mind because I really have seen that everywhere in my life. Like it's crazy. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever been to a house that had a green carpeted step like that. I'm very curious. Like, is it just me? Maybe it is. It might just be me. But here in the living room, we also have a desk space. That is always hard for me to say. And no computer here because it's the 1950s. But obviously, if you do choose to add this to your game and play in this build, you can add a computer or a laptop here. This is a perfect space to get some work done. We have that new turntable here. Oh gosh, what pack is that from? Oh, Party Essentials kit. That's where it is. Or was it a stuff pack? See, I am so out of the loop. I'm trying to get back with it, guys. I'm trying. So, bear with me. We definitely have these pillows, and now that I'm seeing those pillows, I'm reminded of this new, like, reward system they got going on in The Sims, like a battle pass, where if you log in, you get certain items every day. I don't think I've gotten any of those items. I looked for the base game pillows that were supposed to be in there, but that also might have been a glitch. Like, that's how far out of the loop I am. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. But I don't know how I feel about a battle pass for The Sims. On one hand, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I always love new items, but it's like, I don't log in every day. I don't. There's like, that's impossible to do. Trust me, I would love to, and sometimes there are weeks where I'm logging in every day, but that doesn't happen every week, and I get serious FOMO, so I don't know if I like it. Let me know what your thoughts are too down below. I feel like you and we have a lot to catch up on, so tell me how you're doing. How's life? How are you? I know I've been trying to keep up with everybody's videos here on YouTube too. So I've been here and there and trying to keep up with everybody, but I'm looking forward to, you know, being back in to the full swing of things. So, and chatting with you guys some more, but I think this is about it. There is currently a bar here in the living room, but I end up putting one in the dining room, so I think I switch this out. I either remove it and put something else there, or I get rid of it and nothing else is there. I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess. Here we are working on the kitchen. The kitchen, while the rest of the house very much leans into like the yellows, this one's very pink heavy, pink and blue, because I saw an inspiration picture on Pinterest of a 1950s kitchen, and the wallpaper reminded me of this pastel pop wallpaper, and it had like these cute little pink flooring tiles, and it had blue tiling backsplash that I was like, wait, we literally got an item from the Party Essentials pack kit, whatever it is, that would work perfect here, because otherwise I don't know what else to use that item for. So I don't know. I thought this was pretty cute. We're gonna change up the flooring. So the kitchen, I guess, doesn't technically match, but I guess it doesn't really have to. I don't know. We're adding some open shelving here, and we're gonna get some clutter up on these shelves. I don't ever use these shelves either. My go-to is the immaculate shelf, and I feel like that's the go-to for many of us builders. You can let me know if I'm wrong, or if you prefer a different shelf, but the immaculate shelf, top tier shelf Honestly, why would you need anything else? I started trying to do something creative and custom with the flooring, but quickly gave up that dream and opted for this and put the kitchen. Nope, I don't leave it on a platform. It was a good idea, but I didn't like how it moved the cabinets, and then it messes with the windows, and I didn't have time for it. I do bring in some of the green here with these funky curtains that I can't remember what pack it's from. It might be Cats and Dogs, or it might be something else. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm very sorry. Good thing the gallery has a cool, nifty little feature where if you open this up on the gallery, right, and like you're looking at the build, and then it's showing you like what packs are used, you can then click on the icons of each pack, and then it'll show you which items have actually been used. And that is a great trick, especially for those of us who don't have many packs. So perfect, right? Because sometimes, at least when I'm building, if I'm not paying attention to what packs I'm using, which is mostly, it is also still very likely that I might only use one very small and insignificant item from, let's say, Journey to Batu. You know, it could literally be a plant in a corner that any plant could very easily take its spot from base game to, I don't know, what's a recent pack? Werewolves. I don't even know if werewolves comes with a plant. I don't know. Oh, so you may have seen we kind of jumped up to the bedrooms and skipped the dining and bar area. And that's because it's a funny story. I found like a sliver of time in a week where things were just kind of crazy for me. But before the big life event that I mentioned, probably days before. And I was like, I need to knock out this build, or at least some of it. And I did. I felt so good about that dining space. And then I went to edit the video and realized, oh, nah, I did not record any of that. Oops. So, oh well, that just makes this build a little shorter and my editing life a little easier. So here we are in the first bedroom. This bedroom I imagine to be for the adult Sims in the house. Because I figured this is probably a family home, or at least like an older family home, because I think it's like an older Sim child, maybe even a teen bedroom, at least from what I'm remembering at this point. But I love the colors in this room. And I think it really stems from the rug that I chose. And that rug, I believe, came from... It's a weirdly shaped rug. I want to say... Movie Hangout? Maybe? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's one of those packs. Okay, it's there. I'll find out. I'll figure it out one day. But I really liked the greens and the reds and then the oranges, and then here we have like a little seating area because it's such a weird shaped room. It's so long. And then let's take a moment to appreciate the lighting in this room, even in this whole house, because I have those skylights around the build. It's in the living room, and each of the bedrooms really has a skylight. So those are from the skylight items I used. Are from Island Living. So top tier item. I really need to use them more because look at this lighting. How could you not want to use them? Anyway, here we are looking at different swatches for different beds and trying to figure out which route we want to go. But I knew I wanted to use these curtains from, gosh, Growing Together. Yep. And then when I found this bed from Seasons, really testing my pack knowledge today, guys. But I want to be able to give you this information. this bed from Seasons matched the colors like honestly perfectly. I mean, tell me it doesn't, because then we're gonna throw hands. No, I'm just kidding, we're not. But it's got all the purples and the yellows, and it's just really nice, and it pulled together pretty nicely. You may have seen I was kind of toying with pulling out some stuff from the Cozy Bistro pack, but I had to tell myself, wait, that's a different video. Stay tuned. So yeah, we are picking out some wallpaper because I wanted to use more stuff from Decor to the Max and really just go all out with the vibe, you know. But because I used a double bed, I think that is the movie Hangouts rug, because that's just, maybe, I hope so. Okay, anyway, because I used a double bed, I knew that a kid's room is kind of technically out of the question. Although if your family's rich enough, I guess you can have a double bed as a kid. I don't know. I didn't know any kids with double beds growing up, and I sure didn't have a double bed. Anyway, what was I saying? So I guess I was like, well, then this could be like a teen room. So a teen who loves tigers, because even when I pulled out the Tybert plushies, it took me a minute to be like, duh, there's literally tigers on the wall. This sim just loves tigers. And I was like, duh, Symtherin, get it together. But yeah, this was a mid-century 1950s family home. I'm calling it something like that in the title. I haven't quite decided yet, but it is part of the Travel to the 50s collab hosted by Pandora Sims. Make sure you go and check them out. Thanks again for having me and inviting me. Also, don't forget to check out all of the amazing other creators who took part in this collab. Seriously, so many good builds. I personally cannot believe how talented this community is. It's insane. But anyway, we are actually going to be skipping video tours for a little bit, and we'll just have some screenshots here at the end. But don't forget to do all the things if you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It would really help me out, and I would really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys very soon. I promise. See ya. Have a great day. Bye.